most of my life, I was lost in addiction. Substance use started when I was 13. I've been to inpatient treatments when I was 15 and 17 years old. I had children in my early adulthood. I tried to stay sober on my own, but it didn't last. A house that was once a drug-free home was now filled with alcohol, cigarette smoke, weed smoke, and meth smoke. I was in and out of jails. This lifestyle eventually led to splitting with my kid's mom, and I had continued to lead a lifestyle of self-destruction. I began a relationship where I had more children. I was not sober. I was either drunk or sick for most of the time and in and out of jails and hospitals. My babies were taken and placed in separate homes outside of my town. I went through the ropes and did more treatment and eventually got my babies back. I was sober for a year and I was back to sleeping on the streets, in and out of the hospitals, and losing everything I had. On August 4th, 2014, I made a choice to allow God to help me. I've had enough and I knew my life was worth saving. I went to my sacred mountain to pray, and it is where I surrendered and asked God to help me. I went to 12-step meetings, talking circles, and I went into our sacred shrine ceremony for the first time. After I had went through my first ceremony, I felt I needed more in my life to help people. I've also been struggling with my family life to where it would lead to lots of codependency and to eventually to me raising my kids as a single father. I went to the hills to pray by a tree. At this tree, God told me to run. On this day, I listened to Him. I was never a runner all my life. I ran a half mile that day. I went up to that tree to pray and run every weekend, and eventually I ran a full mile. The following 4 years, I ran a half marathon, a full marathon, a 32-miler, and a 50-miler. I started walking in running groups with prayers in our hearts. I found my own way of helping people while at the same time helping myself. Through a variety of talking circles, going back to ceremony, and staying physically healthy, I found a full circle that helps me in my recovery daily. One thing I know that has been a very high blessing in mine and my children's life is that I listened. I listened when God told me to run.